What's going on, everybody? Stoliaker here, and if you haven't been paying attention to the Scott Peterson trial, I'm going to play some clips of the video here in a second, but I do want to make a very good emphasis that this is why it's so important for you to protect yourself. There's numerous case law about this, and one of I always talk about is called Warren versus District of Columbia. And basically, in a nutshell, the police have no obligation to protect you. When the police are 15 minutes away and you need help then and now, this is why I say it's important for people to arm themselves or do something to defend themselves, because the police can't always be there to protect you, and they may not even be able to protect you. So let's get into this clip. Wait till the end of this video and we'll give a final recap of what I really think about this. So don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button, all that good stuff, and let's get into this. Stoliaker, deuces.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected and sworn as the jury to try the case of the state of Florida versus Scott Peterson. This is a criminal case. The defendant is charged with neglect of a child, 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 culpable negligence, culpable negligence, culpable negligence, and perjury when not in an official proceeding. The definition of those crimes will be explained to you later.
The defendant, Scott Peterson, was a deputy with the Broward Sheriff's Office for approximately 32 years. Out of those 32 years, he was a SRO, what is known as an SRO. That's a school resource officer. And school resource officers in general are assigned to certain schools, and it is their duty under contracts that are signed between the cities and the school board and a law enforcement agency. In this case, the contract is signed between the school board and BSO, because he was a deputy for BSO, and then he was assigned to Margie Stoneman Douglas High School. He has been the SRO at Margie Stoneman Douglas since 2009. So he was 28 years as an SRO, but he became Margie Stoneman Douglas's SRO in 2009. So that's 9 years approximately before that fateful day. The defendant has lots of training. He is trained on active shooter scenarios. He is trained how to handle a situation where he is the only person there, the only law enforcement person there, to handle an active shooter. He's also trained that he has another officer with him or a group of officers, how to go in and how to handle an active shooter type situation. For the most part, active shooter situation, you go toward the gunshots. You're trained to go toward those shots, to find that shooter, because every shot could be a death.
17 Juliet 3, 17 Bravo 3, 17 Bravo 4.
17 Juliet 3, be advised, we have possible, could be firecrackers. I think we got shots fired. Possible shots fired. 1200 building.
Attention all units in District 15, possible shots fired at 5901 Pine Island Road at Stoneman Douglas High School. Possible shots fired at Stoneman Douglas High School.
Thank you, en route. 15, deploy route. 17 Juliet 3, make sure we get some units over here. I need to shut down Stoneman Douglas, the intersection.
10-4.
Bravo 49 en route, be Bravo on my call.
10-4.
Thank you, what's the address?
5901 Pine Island.
We're talking about the 1200 building. It's going to be the building off of Holmberg Road. Any descriptions? I'm coming up from Westlake Middle. We don't have any description yet. We just hear shots, but appears to be shots fired. I'm over on the south side, over by the 700 building.
Okay, the verdict forms are complete. I will now publish them. They read as follows. In the Circuit Court of the 17th Judicial Circuit in and for Broward County, Florida, case number 19-7166 CF10A, State of Florida plaintiff versus Scott Peterson defendant. Verdict, count 1. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 2. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 4. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 5. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 6. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 7. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 8. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 9. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 10. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty. Verdict, count 11. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is not guilty.
Now, I want you to leave a comment down below and let me hear your thoughts about this whole trial and how the coward of Broward I think he should have been held accountable, because they do get all this training about active shooters and things of that nature. But, you know, he sat outside of this building and didn't even make an attempt to go in this building. From what I've heard, was over like 10 to 15 minutes. And it's unreal to understand that him knowing that he should have been going in and he did nothing. This is no different than like Uvalde, you know, did absolutely nothing. And the same thing will happen with the officers in Uvalde. None of them will be held accountable. Will they lose their jobs? Very, very possibly, if they haven't already lost their jobs. But the problem that I see is that, you know, police aren't going to be held accountable for when they're not there to protect you, as they say that they're there to protect and serve. They're not there to protect you. It's on you to protect yourself. And whether it's with a firearm or whether it's with whatever it is that you need to protect yourself with, that is what this is about, is protecting yourself. When they're minutes away and you need seconds, that is why I carry a firearm, and that's why I want to do that for my family and for others. You know, I don't understand why he didn't go in, and we'll never know why he didn't go in. Get out there, protect yourself, and always, you know, you just never know when a bad thing is going to happen. You don't know. There's just evil people in this world, and the police aren't going to be there to protect you at all times. So, and don't forget, we have a giveaway coming up. It's called, it's my birthday giveaway. We're giving away an Insta360 X3 camera. We're giving away a Penn Fisher 4500 rod and reel combo, and we're also giving a Rise Armament trigger away. And all you have to do is send me an email to soloyacker100giveaway@gmail.com to get yourself entered into this giveaway. And all I ask that you do is hit that like, share, and that subscribe button and leave a comment. And that's how easy this giveaway is. And so on July 21st, I'll be going live, and we'll be picking 3 winners, and hopefully you got your email in time so that you get your chance to win one of these great prizes. So, thank you everybody, and I'm going to get out of here. Solo Yacker, deuces.